third China International Supply Chain Expo has also kicked off in Beijing. At Wednesday's opening ceremony, government officials and business leaders called for stronger global cooperation on supply chains. Let's talk more about why the global supply chain is so important and this event in China. And for that, we turn to Remi Piet. He joins us now. He's a senior partner at Embellie Advisory. Remi, always good to see you, my friend. Thanks for taking time.
Pleasure to see you, Sean.
Remi, when the tariff activity began with a flurry from Donald Trump earlier this year, every corner of the world seemed concerned about potential massive disruptions in a supply chain. So what does the Supply Chain Expo signal to you about China's role in stabilizing this important global connection?
It's a very important event, obviously held currently in China, and one of the leading event where most of the key actors in the field of new technology, of high tech, microchips, a series of other sectors convene to try to increase the trade relationship and develop new products towards the future. Whether you're talking about electric cars or you're talking about microchips and other series of different technologies. So it is one of the premier events around the world that has actually put China on the map for these issues.
Yeah, and one word that I've been reading consistently regarding this expo is de-risking. Talk more about that and how Beijing's initiative really reflects China's approach to basically opening up and mutually beneficial international cooperation.
Well, the concept of de-risking has made quite a few strides over the last few years in China specifically. It's about making sure that your investments are secured, whether you're actually facing a series of headwinds with a link to the potential trade geopolitics or ESG, environmental social governance issues in different countries, political risk and others. So here, China really understands the need to make sure that any kind of developments in terms of technology or others, is actually mitigating some series of risks that could actually hamper the development and growth of its investment. And in that specific kind of supply chain issue, you're seeing issues of potential attacks on terrorist attacks on global trades, or issues of trade barriers that can actually put at jeopardy a series of developments for its technologies. And as I was saying, also the expectations of large projects and capacity of supplies towards mineral production from Africa or Latin America. All those issues are very important to put into the mindset of the key decision makers when you're looking at investment decision, making sure that the risks on your supplies, on your markets, on your technology are actually addressed.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the third annual, and really it grew out of just a massive turmoil that came following COVID when the supply chain got so messed up. So why does China remain such a vital hub for global supply connectivity, and despite what we hear about these calls for decoupling?
Well, for a series of reasons. Obviously, China is a very large market for technology and the size of its country, its population, and others. But also because China has put itself in first lines of issues of transformation of a series of goods. When you're looking at mineral processing, you're looking at creation of new technologies. You've seen some key strides in progress over the last few years, and a clear capacity from China to be a central players in terms of controlling the transformation from minerals to technology. From looking at logistics issues, also some of the key ports around the world of global trades are now located in China. So all those issues of technology development, transformation of commodities, and trade are seeing their hub and the importance of China as a leading country for these.
Yeah, and also, what does the strong turnout for multinational companies really suggest about global confidence in China's economy? Because there's been so much attention on the haves and the have-nots when it comes to nations around the world.
It shows the importance of obviously being present in China. You're seeing a lot of the key, if not every key companies in a series of technological fields. Increased presence even of American companies, despite the key tensions that you've seen between the two countries. That shows that you have to be present in those events. And then whether you're talking about looking at China as a key market for technology, or a place where you want to partner with other companies for developing the technologies of the next decades, you have to be present, and the issues of decoupling and potential tensions of trade are potentially short-lived, but not in terms of technological development, which is a long-term investment.
Trump's made it clear that he is pushing ahead with tariffs, and now an August 1st deadline for many nations. So with this protectionism in mind, rising trade tensions, how does CISCE provide a platform for connection amid these rising concerns?
Well, you do have, development of trade issues and barriers, obviously, but you also see, some key decisions in terms of exports for commodities. Even, when you look at microchips, the decisions, recent decision for the last, 48 hours to allow NVIDIA, for example, to export the H20 microchip is a complete reversal of the previous ban that you had onto this. So that shows that, that there's still some very strong, synergies and codependencies between China and the US. That when you look at rare earth production, you need to have the capacities of imports from China. So that shows the importance of being present at CIS to build those partnerships and future, seeing capacities of development of new technologies for new markets.
Yeah, clearly, this is one convention that has the attention of the world. Remi Piet, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Sean.